Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia and we have a little bit of news about Superman. Well, we've been talking about this a lot, but that DC 10-year plan requires a lot of moving pieces, and I think a key one of them is Superman. So, will Henry Cavill return? Well, quite honestly, we've had a ton of reports about Henry returning as Superman, and they seem to go back and forth, positive and negative, so let's take a couple minutes to dive into what's going on, try to break it down, and figure out if Henry is indeed going to return as Superman. Now, to be clear, alongside Batman and Wonder Woman, Superman has to be the focus of the new DC 10-year plan. He is a cultural icon, and sadly, we haven't gotten anything of him on the big screen since Justice League was released 5 years ago. We did get that faceless cameo in 2019 Shazam, but quite honestly, I felt like that was pretty disappointing, and it didn't answer any questions, it actually created more. Now, it's been pretty baffling to me that they haven't worked all this out over at WBD. Henry Cavill is the fan favorite, and the guy seems pretty clear that he wants to be in the role again. The Witcher star has expressed interest as returning as Clark Kent on multiple occasions, and ever since the very first day that we found out he wasn't in the role anymore, he has teased fans with his return. Now, over the last couple of weeks, we've been getting a lot of mixed reports, and it seems like things might be changing behind the scenes when it comes to Henry Cavill returning. Now, Eric Davis over at Fandango did a series of reports about Henry's return, and over the course of a couple of days, they had to be clarified. Now, at first, the reports were that Warner Brothers had reached out to Henry, but he really didn't want to come back. Now, we've heard that this was over money, but also over creative control. Cavill appears to want to have some level of creative control of Superman moving forward, and this is typically a hanging point for some of these contract negotiations. Now, since then, we found out that lots is changing behind the scenes, and Davis actually updated his report about him being interested in the role, but it just hasn't moved forward any. So it kind of brings us back to that same midpoint. Now, quite honestly, I don't see any way for Warner Brothers Discovery to move forward in this DC slate without a Superman in place. There are multiple Superman projects in the works, but the status of them is still fairly unknown. We have Takeshi Coates' Superman project, as well as Val Zod with Michael B. Jordan, but we haven't gotten a lot of news on those recently, and I'm actually worried about at least one of those projects surviving this merger purge. Personally, I love Henry Cavill in the role of Superman. Man of Steel is not my favorite movie ever, but it does deliver a really iconic version of the character and turned Henry into a household name. I think Warner Brothers has to figure out how to make this work. It would be pretty easy to bring him back. We've talked a little bit about how these pieces could potentially come together in their 10-year plan, but I think all of it requires Cavill's buy-in. It's baffling to me how Warner Brothers has not just given the man what he wants. I think bringing him back is an instant hit, and pairing him with an A-list director who can deliver on it would make it even better. Fans have been demanding Henry's return for a really long time, and I have to say, this would curb a lot of the negative attention DC has been getting over the last couple of weeks over these cancellations and all the moves Zaslav is making for business purposes. Putting Henry front and center for the new DC Films universe would placate a lot of fans, and it really would change the tone from this negative perception we're seeing right now to some positive direction that fans really want to see for their favorite DC characters. Now, we're going to keep following Superman and Henry Cavill, of course, until we get some answers to these questions. Personally, I really do believe Henry will be coming back, and we should pay attention to what people are saying, because there might be a bit more going on behind the scenes than we know yet, but we'll have to wait and see. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to get all of your Henry Cavill Superman updates. But until we know more, what do you guys think? Do you feel like there is anybody who could be Superman in the DCEU besides Henry Cavill? And do you think this could change the tide of the negative vibe that Zaslav has been giving to fans? Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.